Well, hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm Sara Frasca. I'm the CEO of Traska and Company Eatery and also Point Northeast, a consulting business that is focused on driving growth for our clients. I'm here today live. This is a first, and I'm excited to launch a new series where I come into the portal live with the world to help with business questions and challenges, especially related with innovating. I'll tell you a little bit about myself just to kick us off. So I'm from Minnesota. I was born in Colorado Springs, but I was spent most of my childhood in Minnesota, which is why you hear an accent. I live in Florida now, which is fun. So I like to say that I bring Midwest warmth and the sunshine from Florida together. I have an undying optimism that there is no challenge that we can't solve. But we have to bring ideas. We have to bring optimism. We have to build a culture of innovation in order to solve the problems in our businesses. And as leaders, we have to have that type of energy and empowering our teams so that we can build an army of creative problem solvers. So I wanted to, again, just tell a little bit about myself. I started my career in corporate America at General Mills, actually. Beautiful company, lots of wonderful brands, doing amazing things throughout the world, and an incredibly talented and intelligent group of people. My colleagues were really special. And then I went and joined the startup community. So I was able to go over to a couple of folks, help them to build, grow, and then eventually sell successfully their businesses. Once I did that, I went back to General Mills. And the interesting thing there is that I was never the same person. I was a different type of leader. I was the type of leader that was now questioning the status quo, not in a disrespectful format, of course, but one in which I could ask, why do we do it that way? Why couldn't we try this? And in a lot of cases, I was able to help the company navigate some pretty antiquated systems. So I'm very proud of my two-part career at General Mills. After I left General Mills the second time, I opened a restaurant. And my restaurant is called Traska and Company Eatery. I'm a third generation to serve my family's food. So my grandmother, Sara Frasca, started the panino, which is a sandwich, and serving it the way that our family has served it for almost 50 years. She started it back in 1974 in Colorado Springs, and it has grown through the years. I changed the name to Traska because I wanted to do things a little bit differently. We still serve my grandmother's recipes, but it's a fast casual. So the format's a little bit different. And we're located in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida. So that's where we are headquartered. I'm excited to announce that we've had 8 years of success and we are now launching franchising. So that brings me to why I'm live today. A lot of the business systems, the different types of processes, the way that I've been able to bring my restaurant to life is the way that I like to coach my clients. So we have consulting clients all over the world, and some are very large, some are small startups, and a lot of them are in between, frankly. They have gotten to a certain level and they've plateaued, or they are merging or acquiring another business in order to drive growth. And so they come up with different challenges at those various stages of their business's development. And some of the processes that I've been able to use at the restaurant are able to help unlock the growth at that next level. One of those examples would be the inception of a leadership team. And a lot of the things that I've done within the restaurant are maybe not as uncharacteristic of a large format business, but they are uncharacteristic within the restaurant industry. So again, I'm merging this corporate America world with the startup world in order to really bring growth and drive a successful restaurant. So I'll go back to the leadership team. Within our Traska and Company team, we built a leadership team several years ago, and I believe it's one of the factors that allowed us to not only survive COVID, but frankly, thrive. Unbelievably, we came out of COVID stronger than when we went in. And I would say it was able to help us, move away from the things that were holding us back. It was able to help us detach from the partners, the business folks that were kind of holding our business down. And then we were able to fly as we traversed COVID. So the leadership team is comprised of the people that I trust. I'm the owner. I have to be able to trust them and lean on them to help me grow my business. The other thing is that I can't do everything. I have a consulting firm, I have a speaking business, and then I also have the restaurant. So I can't be there every hour of every day. And sometimes I can't even be there every week. So I had to build a team of people that I could trust. We built a number of core values. In fact, we have 8 of them that we believe with all of our hearts are true today and they need to be true in the future. And this is what makes us. This is the cultural fabric that makes our Trasca team. Once we all agreed on those and believed in them, we decided to have divided roles and responsibilities. What would each person on the team be responsible for? And this wasn't a voluntold exercise. This was an exercise where someone said actively, I want to be in charge of that. I want to run the HR components, the finance components. Maybe it's the sales components. Maybe it's the community relations, etc. And so each of the members of the leadership team actively opted in saying, I want to be in charge of this. We built KPIs for each of those folks so that they knew exactly what they were responsible for producing on behalf of Trasca. Another part of this was helping the leadership team to come up with a joint vision. I had a vision when I started the restaurant, of course, but oftentimes that evolves over time. And in order for me to empower my folks to believe in the vision and to make it something that we all feel strongly about, they needed to be a part of the process. So we went through a strategic planning process where we set forth a long-term vision. What did we want to look like in the future? I like to say that it's aspirational enough that it's just beyond the horizon. It's something that if everything goes well, we will hit it. It's honestly something that if everything goes right, we will hit it. We're not sandbagging, but we're not setting it too aspirational that it seems out of reach. So it's right in that kind of fine balance, that sweet spot of being just over the horizon. Once that was set up, then we came up with a midterm vision. What would that look like? And what does that have to look like in order to get to our long-term vision? Now that we had a midterm vision, and I think for this we chose a 3-year term, we needed to come up with our shorter term vision, which is our 1-year goal. Once we figured out what that 1-year goal needed to look like in order to hit the midterm and the long-term goals, then we broke it down into quarters. So each of us on the team has a plan, has a 90-day window that we are responsible for. One person takes the helm on the HR goals. One person takes the helm on the operational goals. One person takes the finance component, and on and on. So our leadership team is well defined. We have well articulated goals. We have clear roles and responsibilities that are not only the person choosing them, but they are communicated to the rest of the organization so that everyone knows who to go to when they have an issue, a question, a challenge. All right. The next part of what I describe as the journey is coming up with some coaching. So interestingly, in the restaurant industry, we have folks that come from all over, right? Different industries, different backgrounds. Some of them are high school kids, right? That want to work in the restaurant. And so a part of this is the personal and professional development that each individual needs. My general manager at the restaurant needs something very different than the college kids who are working to put themselves to school. And so as part of this, we have to give them the tools and the resources and the coaching components that allow them to have continued progress. We also have to help coach them to have a healthy team. I like the book that is called The 5 Dysfunctions of a Team by Patrick Lencioni. One of my tips for you, because I think it does a great job of describing why trust is the component that has to be really secure, a really good foundation of trust if you're ever going to have any momentum or any success in a business. And so as part of this coaching component, we do a lot of exercises as a team in order to build that type of trust. It's a key ingredient. All right, the next thing as we really build at the restaurant, and what I'd like to share with our Point Northeast clients is having momentum. I would say a lot of times people have great ideas, they have wonderful strategic plans, but when they walk away and they go back to their daily lives and their busy desks, all of those great plans fall apart. And the reason is that we don't have components in place to build that momentum. So, one of the tools that my team adopted very early in coming up with kind of all this strategy, this operating philosophy that we use at Trasca, is that we use a software. We use a software called 90. The reason that we use it is that it, in my opinion, takes that high level strategy and it builds it all the way down to the components we need to do this week. So, said another way, it's a beautiful way to mix working on the business with working in the business, making a plan and then getting that plan accomplished. And so we use this to run our meetings on a weekly basis, on a quarterly basis, on an annual basis, and some ad hoc meetings in between. Sometimes I meet with my general manager. Sometimes I meet with my executive assistant, and we want to keep track of the components that we're working on, both the strategic high level and long-term things, as well as the daily tasks and the weekly components. The other component here, of which I like to coach a lot of our Point Northeast clients, is how to discuss issues and opportunities. There are a lot of things that come up in the moment that we have to be able to have dialogue on, radical candor. But one nice thing about the software is that we can put all of those issues and opportunities in a place where we can collect them. And then when we have our weekly meetings, we talk about them. We collect our thoughts together, and in prioritized fashion, we go through them. We never move on to the next one without discussing it and solving it so that it goes away forever. We want to make absolutely sure that we have surrounded the topic. All members of the leadership team or the team that needs to be involved is discussing it, coming up with ideas and possible solutions. Then we are deciding on that solution. Maybe it's to-dos for someone. Maybe it is a long-term project that they need to work on. But we are surrounding it. We are deciding upon it so that we can move on forever. And that's a really, really key component of bringing that momentum to life. If we don't build the mechanisms, the vernacular for driving momentum on a daily, weekly basis, those high-level strategic visions, those great intentions will never come to life. So it's really important. I think one of the other things that many businesses don't do right, and this was true of me, especially at the beginning, is that most professional service organizations, most restaurants or practitioners, they are artisans of their craft. They are so good at, maybe it's practicing law, maybe it's practicing orthodontics, maybe it's being a chef. Those are the things that they are passionate about and that they do so well. But what they don't have is the business acumen, kind of the back office materials in order to structure a business that can succeed, that can grow, that can evolve and be healthy. So those are the types of things that we like to bring. And I would say, again, this Point Northeast method of really driving businesses up and to the right has been the way that I have built all of the tools, all of the structures and principles that I've used at the restaurant and applied them to our clients, helping them to break through those plateaus and find growth points again. We like to say at Point Northeast, driving metrics up and to the right. How can we take retention up? How can we drive revenue up? How can we drive profitability, productivity, whatever those metrics are, we want them to go up and to the right. And so that's the philosophy. The last thing that I would mention as part of this journey system, this operating system, is that we have to have someone that is in the moment to bring expertise and to bring coaching. And oftentimes what I found in the restaurant and what I find with a lot of our clients is that the owner or the leaders, whether it's the CEO, again, it could be the owner, it could be the founder, it could be the CFO, it's very lonely at the top, is my point. there's often not a lot of places where we can bounce ideas off of, especially in a small business format where we might be the owner and we have a team of employees. And it really would not be appropriate for us to talk to them and share with them our challenges, our areas of nervousness, our risk points that we're worried about. And so we have to find someone that we can talk to. And it might be a mentor, it might be a consultant or a coach. But again, that's the type of offering that we have at Point Northeast and that I've done within the Sara Frasca business in order to help business leaders to have someone to talk to in the moment, to have another set of ears and eyes. And in some cases, a shoulder to cry on, right? Because it's not easy running a business, whether it's a big business or a small business. There are daily struggles that we come up with. And sometimes we just need a friendly face and a helpful ear. So that is why I'm starting this series. I want to help businesses. I want to help leaders to battle through their challenges. I want to be that type of mentor, and it might be a close mentor, it might be just via a digital format. But if I can help to answer questions, if I can help to bring new ideas or a fresh perspective on something that maybe a business leader hasn't had, I'm hopeful that we can find a way through their challenge. Trasca and Company Eatery, as I mentioned, is a one-store restaurant right now, but we just launched the fact that we are going national. We are opening up the ability for people to franchise across the company or across the country, excuse me. And as a part of this, they will be able to use all of the operating system components, all of the coaching tools, everything that we use at Trasca, which again has made us so successful. It has made it a culture where people are engaged, they are excited, they are interested in being a part of it, frankly. And we have a lot of people who are going to be able to build a career with Trasca, not just work at a restaurant for a little while, which is really important to me. So we're going to launch this coaching session every Thursday. I'll be live and I would love to hear from you. You can put your comments into the chat now. You can send me a message. I would love to answer your questions about your business, whether you're starting a business or whether you're running a business. How can I help? What things do you have that are holding you back? What's keeping you up at night? What do you need some fresh ideas and a fresh outlook on? Send those to me and I would be more than happy to address them. And I'll tell you that I would be happy to address them in an anonymous setting where you send them to me and I address them without mentioning where it came from. But I would also welcome any guests onto this so that I can answer your questions live. In that case, of course, you would be live to the world and we would go through your challenges together and I would love to answer them directly and formally in front of an audience. So that is what I'm offering. I hope you'll take advantage of it. It would be an honor to speak with you, speak about your challenges in your business. And if I can give anyone some aha moments or some quick fixes or changes, I would be absolutely honored to help people on their journey. All right, so if you're looking to find me, I'll give you a couple of places. You can go to sarafrasca.com. You can go to pointnortheast.com. And you can go to trascaandco.com. All three of those are the businesses that I own. Again, Point Northeast is a growth consulting firm. We really help businesses take all of their metrics up and to the right. I have Trasca and Company Eatery, which is my restaurant franchising across the country, hopefully soon to a community near you. And then sarafrasca.com, where I do a lot of thought leadership, help businesses with speeches, with workshops, and with coaching. I hope that you'll engage with me. I hope you'll come back next week. Thank you so much for being here today and being a part of my journey to help others in their journey. Thank you.